had a viewer ask, his name was Terry Birch, subscriber. Can you tell me about your camera setups a little more? Now, I sent a reply back, told him I'd probably shoot a video. He asked this yesterday, July the 4th, on video where I was making the announcement we were going to have a giveaway for that 8-man camera. That was, I think that was published on May the 12th. And he commented on, like I said, yesterday. And I decided, well, I don't know if he's asking about what we used to video or if he's asking about our trail camera setups. Well, trail camera setups is, you know, you find an area that you like and you set up a trail camera, see what comes through. And generally you're looking for, you know, deer trails, you know, evidence of deer activity, and you set up your trail cameras. Of course, we use various different kinds of cameras. We started out years ago with 35mm cameras. They were the, I think they were the stealth 35mm cameras. And then we moved up to digital cameras, and trying to remember what the first digital camera was we had. I know we got the Moultries that used the big 6-volt rechargeable batteries, and then they had a flash, didn't have infrared, didn't have LEDs then. And then we moved to the Moultrie with the LEDs, and they used 6 C-size batteries. I still have one. Jerod's finally quit working, mine still works. And then we moved over to the Wild Game Innovations Terra 10s, and those are the ones we use up at camp that are set out right now. And of course, Jerod and I and Big Al just set out these 8-man cameras. Jerod used his 8-man camera, the H55, last year over on the hunting lease, and he got another one, and we set it up at camp. I set mine up at camp. I bought another one, and of course we did the giveaway Saturday night, and Thomas Dillon won that. I've already got information from him. His package will go out tomorrow, Tuesday, around noon. But what I wanted to show was our video gear that we use. And of course, we've come a long way from what we used to 10 years ago. But I still have some of that stuff from 10 years ago. But I'm gonna go over some of the stuff I have. This might be a lengthy video. Some of you may not care to watch, but if you self-video like we do, you've got to get some gear. And of course, this spring I started getting some other gear, so now I've got quite a lot of stuff. Big Al may not have as much, Jerod may not have as much, but I've accumulated quite a bit. Of course, I do videos, you know, my reloading, haven't done those in a while. I did a little bit on leathercraft, knife making, haven't done much of those lately. But some gear stays here at the house, some gear goes with us. So I'm just going to show you what I got. And right now, if anybody wants to know, what I'm filming with is my my iPhone 12. It's not a 12 Plus, it's just a 12. And I believe it's a setup 4K. I don't know positively for sure. I know Jerod shoots 4K. But we do use our phones from time to time. You've probably heard us say we're using our phones to video. And I'm just holding it out with my arm right now, so it might be the reason why it's a little shaky, because already 4 minutes of talking. But that's one tool that we use, is our iPhones. So let me switch the camera around. I'm gonna show you some more, and I may set up the regular video camera once I show it, or maybe even one of the GoPros, and shoot the rest of this video. But I'm gonna show you what I got on the table and sitting here in the chair. Okay, now what we have is, you all seen the video review I did of this. This is the Muddy Hunt Hard camera arm. Just got those, and that's what we'll be using this year at our new stand locations. You've seen my review. I'll be using this hopefully on my bow and my rifle. That's the Tacticam. camera. That's the Solo Hunter package that I got. And of course, I've acquired GoPros. The very first GoPro I got, I'll show it to you here in a minute. But I've got these here. These are both Hero Pluses, I believe. Yes. This one does not have a display screen in the back. This one does, touchscreen. All sorts of accessories and everything. Okay, I even got filters, ND filters that I can use on these. I've also got a Hero 3 white, I think is what that one is. No screen on the back. Here's another one. Of course, it's in a waterproof case. No screen on the back. But this is a Hero 3 white. And I've used both of these. They work. In the truck, I have the Polaroid Cube. And for doing, now I may use this some in the field because it's got the boom mic. This is just a cheap, got this from Walmart. This is basically for cell phone, but it can be used for the Canon camera. This has got a battery in it. It is not a AAA or a AA. It's one of those little fat, short batteries. It's got a rechargeable LED light and a stand because the Canon does not have a hot or a cold shoe on it. But the boom mic does come in real good, and that camera set up for it. And this is a little bag when we're doing short trips. This is a bag I'll carry a camera in a couple times throughout, hikes, in the summer when we're checking cameras, checking other stuff. Of course, this is the tripod I always use. This is a very tall tripod. It was silver. I painted it. I still use that, but that's not out in the field with me. And then this is the original camera arm, and I can't remember. Yeah, this is a Gorilla. And the mount is still attached to my tree stand because I had no tree to hook it to, so I actually bolted the mount to the tree stand. And this is a friction. It's not a fluid head, but probably won't be using this unless I'm at the other stand. The new stand will have this one. This has got a fluid head on it. But there's the camera bag, and we got a walking stick that has a mount for a camera. I've got a smaller tripod here that I probably will use in the field. I've got a hand stick for GoPro. I'll go through everything that's in that bag here in just a minute, so stay tuned. Okay, before I go to videoing with the Canon, this is the pouch that I carry the Canon in. It's Velcro and also buckles. And I carry 2 extra batteries and extra SD cards in here. The camera has a 64 gigabyte card in it. I think the other 2 in here are 32 gigabyte. But they fit in this zipper pouch. And then I have the camera in here. Now the camera sets kind of tight because since I've gotten this camera, I do have a Vivitar micro wide angle view lens for it. But I also purchased a UV filter, which I don't think you can really tell it's on there. Then I have an ND4 filter on it, and I may not need all these filters on, but I have a circular polarized filter, as you can see by me turning it. That's something new that I just got. And I got a small sunscreen on it with a removable cap. This is the Canon Vixia R800, which I did a review on. It does 32 power optical zoom, optical image stabilizer. It has a 57 advanced zoom. I think that might be digital. Okay, and there's nothing real fancy about it. I open up the door and SD card, Goes right here. It's got a little door that covers it up. You got on and off, and you've got your playback where you can review. It's got a USB hookup here, an HDMI hookup here. It has a speaker, maybe even audio and speaker out, where you can hook this up. I think I said audio and speaker out. It might be video. I think it says AV out. But here's your microphone input. That's where I use that boom mic, but I have to use that other mount with the boom mic attached to it. Here's the display screen. Of course, I got the cover on. There's the display screen. Okay, it is touch. Other than it doesn't have a touch to start recording. The record button, of course, is here. On the back side here, there is the, I don't know if I can get it into focus. That is your power to charge your battery. I did buy a USB charger for these batteries. This one's the Canon that came with it. I've got two other batteries. They're not quite as big, doesn't have enough, doesn't have as much time. So I may get another Canon battery for it, that size. But like I said, I got a sunscreen on it. Maybe not all these filters, but the sunscreen I may have on it when I'm filming in the tree. I'm in the tree stand. Also, these GoPros I was telling you about, I have a GoPro 5, or not 5. That is a GoPro, I think this is the 8. No, it's 7. GoPro 7 black. And it is great. I use that a lot when we're going in, doing, checking stands, checking bait spots, whatever. This attachment, which screws into the tree, has a camera mount on it. That will be for headshots of me in the tree stands, whatever. You screw that above you, above your safety harness, and have your GoPro on there. And these GoPros are Wi-Fi, so you can control it with your phone. So you can turn those on when you're getting ready to have that action shot. You can turn these on to get that behind the head, or beside you, whatever, while you got this camera aimed at the game you're shooting. So I'm gonna set this camera up, quit recording with my phone, so I can show you what all is in that bag. I don't think I'm gonna take everything out and show and describe everything. I'll try to describe most of it, but I'm not going to lay it all out like this. And but like I said, I've got a lot of stuff. Some of this stuff will not go with me when we go to deer camp. That black bag usually goes, and 2 probably of these GoPros. And I've got extra batteries for these, but for long videoing, I have these power pack to charge your cell phones with. That will charge those batteries, or even play using these power packs. I got 3 of them. So there's a lot of gear, but like that there, that probably won't go to camp. That's usually for here, or I may grab one of them out and take with me when we go over on the lease. This is just the camera gear I've got, and I pick and choose what I'm going to take with me, and it goes in that black bag when we go to deer camp. Usually it's just a couple cameras on the lease. It's a couple cameras, GoPro, this camera, the tree arm, maybe this bipod, and that's probably about it. But let me get this camera set up and we'll go to recording. Stay tuned. Okay, and like I said, I was recording with the iPhone 12. It's got 2 cameras on it. We'll set that out of the way. As I mentioned, this bag here houses the camera I'm filming with right now, which is the Canon Vixia R800. Here's the extra battery packs, and down in this pocket here there's 2 extra cards, but I keep this in here, keep these batteries charged. And like I said, I do have a USB separate charger for these batteries, so I could charge them in the truck if I need to, or even charge them from a power pack. Okay, so it'll take longer with the power pack. And keeping these with the tripods to go to. That's the only bad thing. Got 2 tripods. The one the camera's on now, this old one that I've used, and this is quite heavy. That's the reason why this one is very seldom. It has went in the woods a few times, but I've got other tripods. But what I'm going to show you in the bag, this is the Sony. This is the one for the past maybe 3, 4, 5 years I have used. I did camo work to it, cover up the chrome. This one has a shutter on it to where when you open the door, I don't know if you heard that click or not, but it opens automatically. This one has, the Canon has a shutter that you control manually on the side. That's what I like about the Canon. But usually when I had this one in the tree, I would just power it off. And of course, you see, it shuts. And then when I power it back on, I know you heard that. So that's one benefit of this new Canon, is it's manual. And with the UV filters, I really don't even have to shut it. With the UV filter on it, I don't have to shut the lens cover because the UV filter protects it. But this has been a good camera. This was the Sony DCR, I think there's glare so you probably won't be able to see it, SX45. Let's see if I can get it in there where you can see it. Okay, and it has a 70 power extended zoom, but I think it's, yeah, 70 power extended zoom, but on the side here it says 200 power digital zoom. Over here on this little door you have your DCN, and you have your audio, video, and charging port right there. Now it's a touch screen, and what I like about it, if you can see in this video, once it's up and running, if I want to record, there's a little red button right here where my thumb's at. I can push that button and start recording without having to hit the button back here on the back of the camera. Your zoom control is up here. You can do photo. You can change it from video to photo, and then you can push and take a photo. And SD card, and that's the problem. When you have it on the tripod, and you got that adapter on here, you can't open up the door for the SD card. There's where the SD card goes. So that's kind of a problem. I like on the Canon, you open up the door, SD card is right here. Another thing I like about this camera that the Canon Vixia R800 doesn't have is with the Sony, I have a remote. Okay, and it plugs in where you charge it up, and you can control the power or take a photo, the zoom in, zoom out, and the record, start and stop right here on that remote. That was what was nice, and that would clip on anything. So that's something I'm going to miss filming with the Canon. I don't have that capability. You know, if I was standing in the tree getting ready to shoot, I could have this clipped on to my pants or whatever, I can control the zoom and everything with my right hand, since I'm right-handed bow hunter. Just say I haven't put my trigger on the string yet, I can control that zoom without moving my hand over to the camera to control it. So, but that's the Sony, like I said, DCR-SX45, and it has served me well. I believe Jerod also has this. I don't think Alvin did. Alvin got a Canon, but it's a R600, I think. But in this bag with the camera, I do have the audio video out, so I could hook it to the TV, whatever, and watch what I recorded. I also have, the battery was on here. I also have 2 extra batteries for it. These are lithiums. And I have a bunch of SD cards. I think this one will only take it up to a 32 gigabyte. But that's the Sony camera. Now I may end up attaching to this with the remote and have it above me. I don't know yet. The video quality on it is not as good as the Canon or the GoPros. So we'll just have to see. For the GoPros, and I've used this a couple times, I have the chest rig. I've used this when we was kayaking. I think I used this kayaking, but I know I've used it several times. But that's the chest rig for the GoPro. This is the tripod most of you, when you've seen the still photos, you have seen in the woods. This is a telescopic tripod. It's a Taurus TG42TT. And I've put a GoPro mount on it. But it swivels pretty smooth. Okay. And tilt up and down, really smooth. That definitely goes with me when I go in the woods. I have another little tripod. This, I think, came with this. Okay. I can't remember for sure. But it has a cell phone camera mount here that you pop out, that you can mount up here. It's got a remote for your cell phone, but that's as tall as it gets. It's basically like a desktop, basically for doing I guess YouTube lives, whatever. That's a little tripod. And then I do have, and this is for the cell phone, this is a selfie stick, telescopic. I've used that from time to time. Don't use it a lot anymore, but I have it. Here's another selfie stick. This one I usually use for the GoPro. Of course, you have to turn it on. I mean, it doesn't have a this one doesn't have a remote, but it does have a button here that you can click that controls turn the either taking a picture with the cell phone or turning the video on. Just plugs into your cell phone. And I don't know if the 12 has a port for that anymore. Don't think it does. No, it doesn't. So can't use the iPhone 12 with that selfie stick. But I think I have an iPhone 5 still that would work with. And this definitely doesn't go to camp, or it doesn't even go. This is for in the house. This is one of those LED round ring lights on its own little tripod. Now this is another GoPro. No, this is not a GoPro. This is a GoPro clone. This was one of the first ones that I got before I purchased this from a buddy of mine. Got it for a great deal. This iPhone, or GoPro 7 Black. But before I had that and these other GoPros, I had this cheap Chinese knockoff here. Okay, and it's got a little display screen, not as big as the one on the GoPro. You can see there, hopefully. That display screen is really small. This did good, and I may use it in the house. I may use this case though for the GoPro 7 Black. Oh, yes. I made this. You know, I've seen where you can buy them and everything, but I had extra mounts and everything, because when I bought this GoPro clone, it came with all sorts of accessories. And I said, what can I do? What can I do? I had some of these, and these are they'll clip to everything, anything. And it's got a trigger release. Now it does make noise, so you'd have to get that thing. You can hold that trigger, and I think, yeah, and you can do it and then let go of the trigger. But it does ratchet down tight. So I could clip that to anything. I could mount a GoPro on it. I'm trying to think if I've got an attachment. I think I do. Somewhere I've got an attachment where I can actually hook up other, like a regular camera. So that's that. I made that. Now, you can buy them already made, but when you got the stuff, make it yourself. Okay. The very first camera that J&J True Outdoor Adventures started with was this DXG video camera. Now this one I really camoed. Right there it is. You can see all that camo. No lens cover. The bad problem with this camera, if you've watched any of our old videos, this was supposed to be your microphones right here. For whatever reason, the microphone's up here. So if you're standing behind the camera talking, it's nice and loud. If you're standing in front of the camera, you can't hardly hear, especially if you're very far away. This was a waterproof camera. It has your zoom capability here, push to record here, stop here, some adjustments here. You hit a HDMI and a USB AV out right here, and behind this locked door. And then this one had a 16:9 high quality 3-inch LCD panel, and can't remember, I don't think this was touch screen. You go to the menu, no, it was not touch screen. And you could turn off your information, and 720p was the highest resolution it would record. You had display button, mode, menu, playback. Don't see anything here for a speaker, but you could hear the audio when you've done the playback. The batteries, which I didn't like, and I have a hard time getting this door open, is right here, and the SD card fits right there. So that was the very first video camera 5 megapixel, I think. It did have a light. The Sony has a light. The Canon does not have a light. But this was the first video camera, and this doesn't even get used anymore. I still have it. I need to take it out of the backpack, but I'm in this philosophy that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So usually I've got spares. But let me see what else I've got, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've seen all the video cameras. You've seen that I got the Tacticam that I'll be using. A lot of people's asked about kill shots. Well, first camera that I ever used to get a kill shot was this Midland. And there's a lot of glare, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can get the glare out of it or not. No. But this is a Midland XTC action camera. Now, it works off of a, I think, 2 AA's, or AAA's, excuse me. And this back door, which I always have, I don't have fingernails to get these. Has a micro SD card slot and a USB connector. And then you have a reset button. Basically you just power this on and start recording by pushing that forward. Okay. And like I said, the battery compartment is here. And there's the little lens. But this has really got the fisheye look to it. And it came with a bunch of accessories. There was a hat mount. There was a looks almost like a bow hanger for this thing to mount on, because it's got the regular screw here where you can hook it up. But then I got into flying drones, and I got one of these. It's a run cam, a little lens cover, and it's not quite as bad for fisheyeing. And it has this little Velcro strap in the base, and I can put that on the stabilizer of my bow, cinch it up tight, strap it, and I think I got a kill shot using that. But that's another camera that we've used that I still have, and I may not use it that much now that I got the Tacticam, but again, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So that's all the gear. And the rest of this stuff over here in the backpack down here is all the chargers for all the cameras. In this bag here, compartment, I got USB cables, I got cigarette lighter connector, just all sorts of USB cables, because some of them is micro, some of them is mini, SD card case, carry extra SD cards. But like I said, this bag will go with us to camp. And it may not have all this gear in it. It may have 2 video cameras like the Sony and the Canon. It may have 2 GoPros. It'll have the Tacticam. It'll have the tripod this camera's sitting on now. And this tripod here. We don't use the camera arms that we use in our tree stands at camp, because we're sitting on the ground or in our little bushcraft seats that we made. So we don't use a camera arm. Now I do take and use, and I don't even know where I've just laid it. Yeah. This. If you watch the last year's video, 2020, I had this screwed into a tree across from where I was sitting. Shot video of me. In fact, in the opening day of the 2020 rifle season, I got it on just when I seen the deer out in front of me. I turned that on with my cell phone, because like I said, it's Wi-Fi, and started recording when I was scoping out that deer coming in, and seeing that it was a really small spike, and I let it pass. I got the deer on the Sony camera, got zoomed in as close as I could, but you still couldn't. You just barely see the spikes on it with the Sony cam, because I couldn't zoom in any tighter. So a couple GoPros, the Sony, the Canon, this small tripod, the tripod the camera's on right now, will go with me to camp. Like I said, I got tons of gear, probably more than what I really need. But when I was getting this, I also thought of Big Al, and I also thought of Jerod. And I ended up basically buying both of them. I think it was the GoPro Hero Plus. I can't remember if they both have the touch screen on the back or not, but I got them these, and these are Wi-Fi capable, and gave it to them along with some accessories. You just never can have too many accessories, and with us wanting to do some kayaking and do some fishing, hopefully from the kayaks, I want to be able to have a way to hook a camera to the kayak while we're fishing. So yeah, I've got a lot of gear. Some of it probably unnecessary, but it's all about creating videos for you guys and wanting to have some good quality video. GoPros are excellent cameras. Yes, they are expensive. The Hero 3 whites that I've got here, the Hero Pluses, and even the two that I got, Big Al and Jerod, are refurbished, and they didn't cost a big chunk of money, so we got them. The most expensive one I have right now is this Hero 7 that I bought from a buddy of mine, and I got it, the chest mount, a couple bases. I think it was $150, so it was a steal. But that's the setup, and I want to thank Terry for asking the questions. I'm trying to get this camera set up here, but I appreciate Terry asking the question. I'm hoping this is what he was asking about, was the video equipment we use, and not the trail cameras. I mean, like I said, we've done some reviews of, I'm trying to remember if we actually done any review of the 8-man. I mean, this is Jerod's second year using his, and I need to let him do a thorough review of the 8-man camera and tell you, what he thinks about it. I think he loves it. I love it, and I've just now put mine out. The benefit of that one is it's got its own display screen, and the way they mounted the display screen is, you've seen in the video when we went up and set up the check the trail cameras we had up there, and to put out mine and Jerod's 8-man, or my 8-man at least, is when you set that thing up and have it in test mode, you can see what you're aiming at. Don't have to use no little red laser or whatever and try to get it where you want it. You can actually see on the screen where you've got that camera aimed. So that was the benefit of the 8-man H55. But I mean, if this is not what Terry's asking about, hopefully he'll comment and say, no, I'm wanting to know more about your trail cameras. But like I said, we've used many trail cameras over the years, and the Moultries were fine cameras in their day. Like I said, I still use mine. It'll be at my primary stand. I'm going to put it back out at my primary stand. The Wild Game Innovation Terra 10s that we use are great cameras. They have extraordinary battery life, because those cameras have not been used on the lease where we're over every 2 weeks or at least once a month. Those Terra 10s, we set them out in March or April. They don't come out of the woods till November. And usually, depending on the amount of photos it takes, and being up there in the National Forest, they don't take a lot of photos because the deer come and go as they please. So battery life on them just seems like it lasts forever. Yeah, they use 8 AA's, but the 8-man, I think it uses 8 AA's. Jerod used his last year, and I think he mentioned in that video when we went up there back in what was it, the 1st of May. He still had full battery, and those were batteries he had in his camera from last year over on the hunting lease. So the technology's gotten a lot greater on these trail cameras, and the prices are down. I know there's more expensive trail cameras out there, but you know, we're on, I don't say limited income. I mean, I work, Jerod works, Big Al, he was working, but due to his health and everything, he's not working now. But the trail cameras, you can get them dime a dozen, unless you go for those name brands, Cuddy Back and whatever. I can't remember the other brands. We don't even fool with those because they're just way outside of our budget. So I appreciate you watching J&J True Outdoor Adventures. Stay tuned for more videos. Please like, comment, share. I mean, hit that thumbs up. That thumbs up, you know, means a lot. Gets our videos out there. You know, the YouTube algorithms go by the thumbs up more than it does by comments. So just stay tuned for more videos, and we'll see you in the woods. Thanks for watching.